The president, as we heard, touted globalism, democracy, democratic ideals. He did say we should reject fundamentalism and what he called a perversion of a great religion, referring to Islam, of course. And he denounced the exportation of extremism, like we're facing now. Do you think that was enough?
This speech to the UN reminded me of the other 7 speeches to the UN. It's long on rhetoric and short on substance. It reminded me a little bit of John Lennon addressing the UN. He likes to ask member states to imagine an entirely different world, and there's a quality of kind of standing above the world and admiring its problems and not really recognizing his role in contributing to a lot of the global instability and violence that has really taken place on his watch over the last 8 years.
Well, what should he have done instead?
Well, his foreign policy is premised on the idea that concessions transform adversaries. It's an experimental foreign policy, and it's really outside of the bipartisan tradition of American leadership in world affairs. I think his biggest mistake is he spent more time coddling our adversaries than supporting our allies, and that's always a losing strategy for the United States.
Well, those weren't the words we heard him speak just now, but you're saying those were his actions during his tenure?
Right. As I said, his speeches are very long on rhetoric, but when you look at the record, he strikes, when he goes to the UN General Assembly, he strikes this pose of being fairly aloof. And when you hear him talk about the world, it just sounds very detached from reality. There isn't really any region of the world right now that I think is sort of more stable or more prosperous than it was 8 years ago.